Welcome back to Got a Game for You, Summer Game Fest edition. Ever finish a game that was so good it became your entire personality, but you had no one to share it with? Well, we're that group of friends you immediately go to for sharing all the games that consume you, body and soul. Every summer, the gaming world comes together for Summer Game Fest for a week full of reveals, hands-on demos, and developer interviews that give us a peek at what's next. This year, Shelby and I went all in. We played 18 game demos and sat down for 12 interviews to bring you the ones that stood out most. In part 5 of our coverage, we're diving into a studio that has a real chokehold on our emotions. Have you ever stumbled on a game that hits you with style, heart, and a little bit of magic all at once? It was probably an Annapurna game. They're so great, we're giving them a whole episode. We're jumping into Snap and Grab, a stylish heist game that Shelby and I got to demo together. Then we're queuing up Mixtape, a coming-of-age adventure that had us fully invested the moment the music kicked in. We sat down with Woody Woodward from Beethoven and Dinosaur to talk about building emotional worlds through sound and story. And to close it all out, we have a conversation with Jenny Wyndham, Communications Director at Ivy Road, to chat about Wanderstop and what she's up to next. So grab a snack, pull up your wish lists, and let's get into it. What happens when your job is fashion photography and also a world-famous burglary? Snap and Grab puts you in the role of Nifty Nevada, a world-famous fashion photographer who secretly leads some of the most stylish heists on the planet. Instead of doing the stealing yourself, you use your camera to scout each location. Every photo becomes part of the plan, from guard routes to treasures to potential escape paths, and your crew executes the heist based on your shots. Here's a bit of Shelby and I checking out the demo.
Snap, plan, grab.
There we go. What? Oh
Need a limo.
She was skateboarding on that limo.
That was cool.
Pirate.
I like it.
He's a plaid pirate.
Oh my.
That's how I go downstairs too. Whoa. I love how we both do that. We go into a game and it's like 360.
My first thing to do is press every single button.
Oh yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Whoa.
This man going.
That is an aggressive walk.
I like it. The movements are super fun.
I knew that man. He was like, chat with Eric Pop.
I didn't even see him standing there.
Right there.
He's talking to me and I'm not there. I wish you could hear the accents.
Are they crazy?
He's French.
Oh, wow. Wouldn't have expected that. Okay. Find the diamond skull.
Yeah, I love this. We're doing a heist.
Oh, look, he's imitating the picture. Oh, it's stairs. Of course it's stairs. Oh.
I trespassed.
What? She didn't know?
I got arrested.
You failed the tutorial.
Oops.
This. Oh, there it is. Now it's like, okay, okay, dummy, get over here.
Okay, my bad.
Yeah, jump in the pool.
From the nearby. Can I? Ooh,
Oh,
I tried.
that was crazy.
Okay.
Oh, shoot.
Oh, that was an accident.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
I could take a better photo than that.
Yeah, you got this. You got
Wait,
this.
how do I zoom again?
Oh.
Oh.
That's a pee-pee.
Where am I going? Where's the diamond?
Left.
There he is.
Or she, we don't know.
You're so right. Actually, that's a diva right there. I like that the statue also has glasses.
Oh my God. Wow. He really loves himself.
Heist
yeah.
plan.
That's the big thing about this. Because I didn't show you the trailer. But you have to like gather information and then figure out how you're gonna like piece everything together.
Right. It said that whenever I put the photos together so that they know what the heist plan
Yes.
is, my team. Sure. Where'd all my other photos go?
Yeah, just grab it, guys.
I'm
You
sure
got
this
it.
will work. Just walk right up to it.
This guy is huge too. Oh my God.
Oh, just grab the stick. It's a photo of
a lot of
Xander, the
buckles.
security guard protecting the stairs.
Okay, how
That's
do we
him, right?
distract the security
Yeah,
guard? Oh yeah, take a picture.
Yeah, he basically posed for it.
He's like, he did this.
Us. He's a millennial.
Oh, it also has glasses. Oh, but its head moves. It could cause a distraction.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Oh, this is fun.
Snap and Grab is set to launch in 2026 on PC, PlayStation 5, and Xbox Series X and S. It'll also be available day one on Xbox Game Pass.
My mixtapes bend others to my will. It's a strange, almost cosmic talent.
Do you remember having one perfect night with your friends where you knew everything was about to change? Mixtape is a coming-of-age adventure from Beethoven and Dinosaur and Annapurna Interactive. It follows 3 friends on one last night together before their lives split in different directions. The game plays like a collage of memories tied together by the songs on their shared mixtape, with each track pulling you into a moment that shaped who they became. The whole experience leans into music-driven nostalgia, with the soundtrack stacked with alt-rock rock and punk legends like Devo, The Smashing Pumpkins, Iggy Pop, Joy Division, The Cure, and more. Each song becomes a backdrop for a memory you step into, creating dreamy, cinematic moments that feel nostalgic, surreal, and a little bittersweet. Mixtape was originally set to release this year, but is now scheduled for 2026 on PC, PlayStation 5, and Xbox Series X and S. It'll also be available day one on Xbox Game Pass. Here's a bit of Shelby and I checking out the demo together.
We have waited our whole life for this.
I like her.
Yeah. Oh my God. Whoa, I'm in it.
How's it feel?
It feels good. Slight delay, but it feels like skateboarding.
Wow.
They're crazy. This is scary.
Perspective.
Oh, I can go faster if I can go down. Whoa.
Wow. You did a kickflip.
Whoa!
Ollie.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, the colors of the leaves. This makes me want a pumpkin spice latte.
Yeah. There's like an accent happening that I'm trying to figure out.
It feels very Californian though.
I'm getting like Canada.
Oh,
like
Canada.
their O's. Home.
Home. Bra.
Secret handshake. You have to remember that.
That was so cool.
We also had the chance to sit down with Woody Woodward from Beethoven and Dinosaur to talk about building the emotional core of Mixtape.
My name's Woody. I'm the producer at Beethoven and Dinosaur and on Mixtape.
So that might have been the most fun demo that I've played at this
you, I
event
love
so
that.
far.
Thank you.
What was the inspiration behind all the perspective changing and the camera angles? We were suspecting maybe film student involved.
Yeah, so Johnny, our creative director, is a big film buff, loves all the different cameras, loves all his lenses and that kind of stuff. So yeah, that, lots of like classic like 90s film references, you know, like Days of Confused, like Ferris Bueller's and stuff, and like MTV as well. So lots of like mixed media and like chopping and changing and references, that kind of thing. Yeah.
Very cool. Yeah. Could you explain sort of the setting? Where are we? When are we?
It's in, I guess, like Pacific Northwest-ish.
Okay.
It's vague. It's
Okay.
it's a homage. It's a reference.
I like that.
And then 90s. We don't say exactly when in the 90s, but
It's a vibe.
Definitely 90s. Yeah.
Cool. Were there any other games that inspired any of the gameplay for this game?
I mean, I think it's just a bit of a vignette of that whole time period, like the moments, and just trying to like any other games is an interesting one. I mean, like obviously Life is Strange is a comparison we get all the time. Which is, hey, it's a good one to get. That's the main one we get, I think. But I wouldn't say really inspired. Like, as you can tell, like we kind of change the gameplay and stuff a lot.
I found it very unique.
Yeah.
Especially during the car scene, to hit the buttons during the beat and then the perspective change. It was really interesting.
Yeah, like we're just trying to set a vibe, you know, through like the music and obviously like the camera work and the visuals and also the controls as well.
The game takes place, 80s, 90s, very nostalgic. Is there anyone working on the game who wasn't even born during that time?
Yeah, we have our youngest team member, Lily, was born in 2000, I think, which is very funny. And like we have like VHS cassettes and stuff here, and it's like these are things that people don't have anymore. And I think most of us are around like late 20s, early mid 30s, and that kind of stuff. So yeah, we're kind of 90s kids, that kind of stuff. Yeah, and a couple of 80s kids in there as well. So yeah.
So this plays like a movie. When are we getting the movie?
Look, if someone comes to us with the right numbers and the right pitch, who could say?
Who could say?
Who could say?
Okay, all right, I love that. Anything you want people to know about this game before they play it?
I think just seeing it and just engaging with it says enough.
Yeah.
I mean, you played the demo.
It was great.
But yeah, I don't know. It's just about the uncertainty and the joy of youth and just like, kind of, I don't know, like obviously they have a very cool life, very cool bedrooms and very cool like...
I'm going to ask you a question about that in a second.
Yeah. But it's like, just trying to get identity and trying to know who you are at such a weird time. I mean, back then it was weird, let alone now for like
so
people growing up now.
Weirder.
Yeah, right.
There's Labubu's and stuff. Like, what's happening?
There's Labubu's.
Life's crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy. It's almost like life is strange.
It's a little strange.
But yeah, it's just like grasping for identity and just trying to figure out who we are in the swirling whirlpool of youth and society,
I love that.
Yeah.
Were any of you guys as cool as the characters in the game? Because I'm like, man, I could
definitely
kickflip in high school.
That's good.
I was that cool, but
Yeah.
They were really cool.
Yeah, definitely not. I think it's a thing of like kind of like reframing or trying to like reclaim in a cool way, like our youths and growing up and that kind of stuff.
That's cool.
Yeah, and like I think through the three like main characters, you can kind of there's little bits and pieces in all of them you can kind of attach to and understand and know and that kind of thing. So yeah.
Well, great. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm not meant to be here. I'm a fighter. I'm meant to be in the arena, in combat. But instead, I'm out here in the middle of the woods, running a tea shop.
What if the bravest thing you could do wasn't fighting, but was finally resting? Wanderstop is a narrative-centered, cozy adventure from Ivy Road and Annapurna Interactive that follows Alta, a former champion fighter whose body can't keep up with the battles anymore. She's forced to slow down and ends up running a small tea shop in a magical forest clearing. Instead of quests and combat, the game becomes about healing, burnout, and learning how to be useful in a new, gentler way. You grow plants, brew tea, and try to understand a life where rest isn't a failure, but a path forward. Wanderstop released earlier this year and is available on PC, PlayStation 5, and Xbox Series X and S. While Wanderstop wasn't a part of our Summer Game Fest coverage this year, it is an Annapurna title that we loved and covered when it first released.
A former fighter running a tea shop?
Is that I actually feel good. I'm happy. I can stop running now. I can stop. I can stop. I can stop running. This is good for me. I need to enjoy this. I feel good. I'm happy. I'm happy. I'm happy.
Whoa. Twisty. I think this is going to make me feel things.
I think so too.
The fact that you think it's a certain type of game, and then it ends in that.
Which I think is an acceptable thing, especially in a game with this kind of theme. Oh, there's a customer. Oh, it's empty. I'll be with you, sir, shortly. Oh. So this is fruit. Whoa, his leg. Oh, hello. I love the floral pattern under his armor. This is such a fun look. Wowzee, McGowie. Wait, wowie, McZowie. This looks exactly like a tea shop in the middle of the woods. No way, no freaking way. Is that really what it is? A magical tea shop? Oh God, you sound like you're gonna be a whole lot. I'll just give him the simple yes. I'm being polite to our customer. Okay, you're a lot, sir. Is this broom on your head? I thought it was in the backpack. Amazing, stupendous, I love it. This is exactly the kind of wild adventure that a knight would get into. A real knight.
Today, we're lucky enough to talk with Jenny Wyndham, Communications Director at Ivy Road, to talk about the game and what she's cooking up next.
Yeah, my name's Jenny Wyndham. I do a variety of things in the industry, and I feel like with a lot of my closer friends, it's a running joke of like, how long is your title card? Because you kind of just like dabble in a lot of things. But I think I'm most known for my work as one of the organizers of Wholesome Games and our work as Wholesome Games Presents now, because we also have a publishing arm, which is really exciting. Wow. I know it blows my mind every time I think about it. I also do a lot of work on the studio level. So I'm a co-owner of a studio called Soft Not Weak. We've actually released a game this year called Spirit Swap Lo-Fi Beats to Match 3-2.
Ooh.
And I also work at Ivy Road as their communications director. And that is, we just also released a game this year. Released a lot of games this year.
Oh,
and that's one's called Wanderstop. So I do a lot of that. And then on the side, a lot of consulting, a lot of work just with studios individually on influencer strategy in particular. And I also like to create content. And I have a video game book club that I do. That's like my little passion project that I adore so much. And I love our community.
Wait. Video game book club?
Yeah, it's called Geeks and Grounds because it was inspired because my friend and I would go and hang out at the coffee shop all the time in between work because we used to work at an office and we're like, let's get away from the office, go get a coffee. And we would always end up talking about like our favorite games and movies and what we were into. And so I was like, let's make this a podcast slash game club where we play one game a month. And as a community, we discuss it together in Discord. And we have a hangout at the end of the month where we discuss it live in person. And it's just like a really, I used to be a teacher before this. I was a middle school teacher before my video game career. And so my heart really lies, like, I love video games, but I love making meaning of like what we consume. And that for me is like what this game club is making meaning of the games we play and like connecting it to our lives. And also like, I feel like it makes me appreciate games more because you're thinking about them a bit more intentionally as you play, and you get more out of them. So it's really cool.
Yeah, your brain's like on a little bit more than it would be because you're like, oh yeah, I want to talk about this, or oh, this was a good note or a good nugget. I feel like since I started the podcast with Shelby and Lena, that's the way I play games now too. I'm like, oh, can't wait to talk about this.
Yeah, it's so nice because I know a lot of folks do a lot of multiplayer gaming, and I'll jump in a lobby every once in a while, but I really love single player experiences. And so the best way to connect with people is always just like, hey, have you played this game? We should talk about it once you're done. And so, but this is me doing that on a larger scale and forcing everyone in my life to play the games that I really want to play and talk about it with me. So it's very ulterior, selfish motives for sure.
Honestly, I get it. I totally get it, because that's our whole thing with Got a Game for You. It's like, have you played a game and have no one to talk to about it? Like we are those people. We want to talk about it. So
yes, exactly.
I have to get in on this video game book club. I want to be a part of it.
Yes. Oh my gosh, you should come. That would be so fun.
If I can, I'll get the info from you. That sounds right up my alley. Well, you mentioned a little game, just a little tiny game called Wander Stop.
I remember that one.
That one. Wow, talk about an elusive girl. That trailer dropped and people were speechless. Like, I'm thinking about my reaction. I'm like, but what is this game? I need to play it immediately, but I don't. I didn't know enough about it. When you were, working on that title and having to do a lot of the marketing for it, like, how did you tee that one up without giving away any spoilers? Because that's half the mystery in the game, right?
Yeah. That was such a tough one, I think. And Davey Reedon is, the creative mastermind behind the story of Wander Stop and the game in the studio. And he was really adamant about wanting to make sure that mystery stayed alive, that people were left kind of wondering what is going on, because you have a trailer for folks who maybe haven't seen it that starts in a really familiar way, where you have a character who's like doing the farming sim things, doing the cozy tea brewing things, and you have this expectation. And I remember the first time I chatted with him and I was like, okay, let me learn about this game, learn from you what you would like this marketing to be. He talked a lot about how he wanted to sort of have people's expectations subverted. And so we thought a lot about that. And that was really what the trailer aimed to do, is say, like, you expect this. We're going to throw you something at the very end that means you have to pay a little bit closer attention to what's going on.
It got me. It got all of us. How'd that feel there after like the trailer went live? Was everyone like, yes, we did it. Yeah.
Oh, it was a mix, honestly. I think we were all really excited to finally to be able to like say that the game was even happening is just a big deal. I think the challenge for us is for folks who haven't played, like, and even folks who have, it's not a spoiler to say, and we tried to make it explicit, like there is no major twist in this game. Like, I think folks who are familiar with Davey's work, like in Stanley Parable, they were thinking like, what is the 4D chess that's going to be happening? And we wanted to make it clear that while this is not a farming sim, and subvert that expectation in terms of what people are going into, we didn't want people to go in and think, is this going to do a Doki Doki like twist? Is this going to do something absolutely wild? Because this game came from more of ultimately, I think, a really sincere place of wanting to explore some very tough emotions. And that's maybe the twist, is that there is no twist, and that there's a sincerity, to what we're the team was trying to create and get people to think about.
Always keep them on their toes, That's
Yeah.
definitely the vibe. Well, let's talk about that.
Yeah.
When you joined Ivy Road as communications director, what drew you most to Wanderstop's story and direction? Was there like a moment early on where you realized it was more than just a cozy game?
Yeah, it's funny. So one of the team members, Alex, who was part of the team, at the time I was actually working at Kepler Interactive. I was really loving it there. Shout out to the Kepler team. They're wonderful folks. And Alex had hit me up and said, we're working on a game here at Ivy Road. This honestly is right up your alley. Like, you will know this game as a communications director, and you would know exactly like the people for this game. And so they sent me an early build and just said, play it. If you're really interested, we'd love to talk to you about working on this title. And my first reaction, and this is in the demo that many folks got to try, like during Steam Next Fest, there's a part where Alta is running through this forest and she gets, she's found this clearing, and there's an option where you can choose to stay or like run back into the forest. And I was like, let me see how many times I can run back out into the forest until the game is like, no, you gotta get going. And that was a moment for me where I was really pleased that they accounted for that, just in general. And it also pleased me because I'm the kind of person who, like Alta, maybe not to the extremes that she goes to, but I will try to usually keep pushing until, maybe I should not anymore. And so as a character action, like me being able to do that felt really relatable. And just in general, the story of someone who has something that she loves kind of taken away from her, and not by necessarily outside forces, but just, I think everyone's had a passion that they've maybe fallen out of love with or not remembered why they keep doing it. And so, as someone who does other forms of art like dance, that was incredibly relatable, where it's like, I've had to, over my life, multiple times redefine what my hobbies and my passions mean to me. And that, for me, is the core of this story. And I found that so powerful.
So powerful. And it's so funny how games are evolving, right? Beyond game mechanics and more just kind of sitting with intentional slow movements to to make you think a little bit. And I think Wanderstop did that so well. The game uses,
shout out to Steve, our designer.
Thanks, Steve.
Yeah.
The game uses slow, intentional actions like brewing tea and tending to plants to explore heavy themes like burnout and identity. Those are uncomfy things to have to sit with, let alone realize that they're, happening within you. How did the team approach making those interactions feel meaningful rather than just like a game mechanic, like an aesthetic or a routine?
Yeah, I think one of the really interesting things, chatting with Steve about this actually, was a challenge posed to them very early on in development was, how do we make this something intrinsically motivated versus extrinsically motivated? So we have, habits as people who play games where we look to see, when do we get points for things? When do we get feedback for things? And does it change, does it change the ending? Does it do something for us? And those are those external factors that make us more inclined to do things. And one of the questions that Davey had posed to Steve was, how can we make people feel like a sense of intrinsic or just internal curiosity and delight in interacting with the world? And a lot of that had to do with providing those opportunities, being relatively clear that sort of nothing necessarily happened around those opportunities, but then not putting, I think, just design-wise pressures or elements that are necessarily punishment or like extremely rewarding. Everything felt like very natural and organic.
Wow.
And I know Steve probably would be able to talk more technically about some of the work that goes into designing it. But for me as a player, I was amazed at how I never felt time pressure to do anything. And so I felt like I had the time to just sort of explore what things did and play like in a true sort of like kid playing around with something to see how it works versus let me see how to min-max this.
Yeah, Shelby,
Yeah.
when she was telling us about the game, she was like, she read a lot. There was like, anytime she could read something, she was reading it. And she was like, I gotta be honest with you, Jenny, I'm not like, I do not read. I don't read when prompts come up. I don't read the tutorial. I just I'm go, go, go.
Yeah.
Yeah, Shelby and Lena are, they love to read everything. And I'm just like, nah, I don't have time. I don't want to do it.
That's so good.
So that wasn't like, it didn't really sell me when Shelby was like, guys, you just could spend hours reading all the things. And I'm like,
Yeah.
there's like little nuggets for different types of gamers. And I think that's really
Yeah.
pleasant.
It's so funny because there is like an entire like book essentially in the game, the Dirk Warhard series, where
Yes.
you have a book club in game. And so that's what she's probably talking about, where it's like you're in a game reading a book from this game's world, and how like meta inception does that feel?
She loved it. That's like, honestly,
Yay.
more games need to be like that just for Shelby. Here's a little bit of a niche question here. When players discovered that every time the farm regenerated, all the decorations disappeared and only their photos remain, it hit a lot of people emotionally. How did you feel when you first realized that was a part of the design? And how was it witnessing other players kind of react to that?
Oh man, the first time, I feel like the first time I experienced it, it was, I think I had just the huge full swath of emotions, because I had spent like in that first cycle, that first section of the game, I had taken so much time to decorate. I had put tons of flowers everywhere. I had gathered all these accessories and placed them exactly where I wanted. And so the loss that I felt, it was almost comical because I was just not expecting it. And I think after I had my initial reaction of like, you know, the 5 stages of grief and kind of a flash, I'm like grief, anger, you know, depression, and like, what is it? Arguing with it, you know?
Yeah.
I realized maybe it's not for every player, but for someone like me, I thought that was really, really cool. And really a smart way to get you to quickly have a very intense feeling and experience a sense of loss, which your character is also going through, and start to mirror her journey. Because after a point, if you lose something, you have to choose whether or not you want to put time and energy into it again. And that's kind of like what Alta's journey is. It's like, if you've lost this skill, this talent you have, are you emotionally ready to take on doing this again? Or do you need to maybe not decorate as much for a little bit? Let that settle in. And then once you are ready, you know, are you willing to put into practice doing this thing again? And so I thought it was just a really brilliant technique and or narrative device. And watching people stream, oh my gosh, honestly, just it was so tough because you could see some people just truly heartbroken that they had lost like an accessory that they had found, an item that was decorating their shop, or that they had taken, you know, 20 hours to put together the perfect garden that they had, and it was all gone. And it's like, it just reminds me of one of those Zen sandcastles.
Yeah.
What is it? Like the sandboxes where it's like an exercise in impermanence.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. Such a wonderful lesson in a game. Quick and dirty. I feel like I'd wrestle with the rage a little bit more and be like, the game has a glitch.
Yeah, well, we actually did. We got a couple of emails.
Yeah, that would be me.
Actually,
Did you get my email? No, I'm just kidding.
It's like, oh my gosh, you spammed us so much that week. But yeah, it was really funny because we had, I think, about a small handful of people who I think they didn't kind of quite understand, you know, when Boro sort of explains it, but they were just like, are you, so I have nothing? So I have nothing in my Wanderstop farm or tea shop anymore? And it was always a little bit heartbreaking to tell them the news.
It's part of the game. I love that. Yeah. I think we can go into autopilot when we're playing games and think we already know what's coming. So the unexpected really it does a little something to your brain. And I think that's really cool. Well, anything else you want to tell people about Wander Stop?
I hope people do take their time with it. I know, especially right now, it's on my mind because also Game of the Year discussions are happening.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, I got to crank through this many games before the Game of the Year discussions are ready to go. And I mean, I'm doing the same. But I hope that people, when they play, are able to slow down a little bit and take their time. And if you see elements of yourself in Alta, like, use that. And I hope you can reflect and enjoy. And hopefully this game is helpful and meaningful to you.
Oh, I love that. Well, Jenny, you're super cool, and this isn't all about Wander Stop. We got to talk about you. Wow, it's your intro. I'm like, this is. I feel like I've met my match. I do so many different things because I'm alive.
You do so many different things.
Because why not? I'm living and it's exciting and I'm never like burnt out at all the things that I'm doing. And I'm so excited to keep doing all of them. Sometimes, it stacks up. It's like when you do laundry and you don't put it away and you're like, oh man.
Yeah.
It's a little bit of that feeling, but it's never like, I hate my clothes or I hate all these things. I'm just like, this is so great. I have so many passions. And from that intro, it sounds like you were a little two peas in the pod. On that one.
I was gonna say super relatable. I'm also the same where I also love just learning different things. And what's been really nice about the game industry is I've been afforded the opportunity to learn a lot of different things and try my hand at a lot of different things. And so like if I have this opportunity, why not take it? Why not say no? And if I hit a point, I can always bring it back. But it's been really nice to be able to do all of the different things that I've been able to do.
Yeah, I feel like you've lived so many different lives too.
Yeah, I know. It's weird because before this, I was a teacher. I co-owned a dance company.
What?
Like, I did all of these things. Yeah, it's like I've had maybe 3 lives already, which is wild.
I feel that very deeply. I get it. Well, let's talk about Wholesome Games. It's grown into a huge movement. Between the Wholesome Direct, Wholesome Snack, and the seasonal Wholesome Game sales, it's become a whole corner of the industry. Looking back, did you ever imagine it would have this kind of cultural impact on how people talk about games?
Also, I love the whole corner of the industry. I see a little bit what you did there. That's very good.
I tried.
I did not predict, I won't speak for the other 3 on the team because maybe they had the foresight and they were just like, we know what we're doing. But I think for the most part, all of us were just wanting to do something that we cared about and wanting to uplift a type of game that we all were really passionate about, but we hadn't seen featured on a wider scale. And it's funny because while I think the conversation around coziness and wholesomeness in games and like this sort of aesthetic and genre that's come up has gotten a lot bigger in the last 5 years, I'd say. It's been around for forever, you know, and we've had these games forever. And so it's been an honor to see the ways that we've been able to play, a small part in that and help just bring this type of experience to more people, because there's so many people who we meet who are like, I never thought I could play games, or I was into games, or that gaming was for me. Then I discovered some games from Wholesome Games. And that's honestly one of the greatest compliments and greatest comments I could get when, at something like PAX, where more people playing games, I think is a great thing, because there's such a good medium. It's so fun.
Especially the games that have been coming out in the last 15 years, life-changing games. There's certain games that I've played through that have been the turning point in my perspective on life. And growing up with video games, I remember my parents being like, you're gonna, that's not good for your brain. It's your eyes are gonna fall out. Stop playing video games. It's a waste of time. And now it's just it's a huge part of everyone's day to day, and everyone in some capacity is a gamer. Whether it's you're doing a crossword puzzle or you have an app game, and I think shedding light on and carving out like a space. That's what really needed to happen, because I feel like the AAA world and some of these bigger titles, or like, Xbox, Nintendo, PlayStation, people just didn't really know where they fit or belonged. And Wholesome Games really gave everyone permission to kind of take up space.
It's been really exciting to see, I think, the advent of, because discoverability, like in game marketing stuff, discoverability is the big issue. Discoverability is the big problem. And what's been really exciting is I think Wholesome Games has not only helped wholesome games and cozy games get a bit more visibility, but like you said, it's about carving out space so that the right people are finding the right games for them. And so you have like horror curated showcases now, you have RPG showcases now. And while the struggle is that's still, you have to be able to find them. And it's, there's another layer of being able to get to the showcase that is a good fit for you, or the community that's a good fit for you. But it's like, once you find that community, I think there's so much opportunity for you to get even closer to the kind of games that you would like to play. So it's really neat to see how curation has become more prominent, I think, as a result as well.
And creators too. I feel like now there's the cozy gamers that specialize in that. It's so neat. It's neat to witness. It must feel really good, because you definitely have inspired many. Like, you guys have played a part in that.
Yeah, it's amazing. And it's amazing to see how it's evolved. Because a lot of creators, especially Animal Crossing, was like the first game for a lot of these creators. And I love seeing, one of my favorite things to see is a creator who's maybe played only Animal Crossing, and they start delving into maybe a few indie games. And then there was one point where a lot of sort of cozy creators were starting to play Valheim and get really into Valheim, and then like No Man's Sky, and then Baldur's Gate, and then they start playing Clair Obscur, and seeing the ways that, again, it's like another touch point or gateway for people to first get into something that they're really like comfortable with and feel like approachable and accessible. And then once you like have your feet wet, you can always step a little deeper into the pool and like see what else is out there for you. So it's like such a net good, to just have more opportunities for people to find games for them.
Yeah, and feel like they have permission to enter that space. Like, they would have thought like, oh, that game's too hard for me. And it's like, well, I did beat that one boss. Maybe I can do this.
Yeah, exactly.
You've championed hundreds of heartfelt projects through Wholesome Games and worked across so many sides of the industry: dev, publishing, comms, and community. For creators hoping to make games that connect emotionally and inclusively, what advice do you give?
Oh, that's a really good question. This is such an abstract response, I feel like, but knowing your own story is really important. I think if you are trying to create a game and you want to make something emotionally impactful, you want to make something that moves people, I think understanding that drawing from your own story is probably some of the best places to draw from, because you know you. And the more specific you can get, the more universal it will feel, which sounds counterintuitive, but you think about games like Venba, which feels so specific. It's like, oh, it's a story about an immigrant family in Canada, an immigrant mom in Canada cooking food for her family.
I just got chills. That game was so good. It was so good.
It is. And it's like, you're not an immigrant mom in Canada cooking food for people, but that specificity allows you to really get to the core of the experience that she had, in terms of feeling, lonely in some ways, and like seeking familiarity in her culture and connection with her family. And like, those are universals. And so I would say, if you're trying to get into making heartwarming games, like, some of the biggest inspiration comes from your own life and your own experiences, however mundane it may seem.
Well, Jenny, thank you so much. It was such a pleasure having you on Got a Game for You. I hope we get to hear and see more of you in the future.
Absolutely. Anytime. I am here for you. I will show up to wherever you need. Need a getaway car? I got it. I'm here.
You're the best. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
And that wraps up part 5 of our Summer Game Fest coverage. Huge thanks to the teams behind Snap and Grab, Mixtape, and Wanderstop for letting us play, explore, and talk about the worlds they're creating.
We're getting close to the end of our Summer Game Fest coverage with only 2 parts left. Up next, we're diving into our epic games coverage with games like Infinitesimals, End of the Abyss, and Out of Words, where we got to play each demo alongside the dev teams. Thanks for tuning in to Got a Game for You. Be sure to follow us on socials at Got a Game for You. Your comments, likes, and reviews help more than you know. And to all of our patrons, thank you so much for supporting us. And let us know if you got a game for us.